The head of the Guyana Vendors Union, Ian Andrews, on Tuesday highlighted that the city mayor's demarcated boundaries for vendors will eventually become ineffective unless measures are put in place to regulate and monitor the day-to-day activities of vendors. Ian Andrew lamented that unless stalls are monitored by the market constables to avoid contraventions, vendors will continue to sell beyond the boundary lines and obstruct traffic.
You cannot blame the vendors alone for this. There must be consistent monitoring of this thing by the powers that be, that is the city constabulary or the revenue, whereby they must be able to say, please go back behind the line because this is the line. So what they did, they draw the lines again, very visible. And we're hoping that this will be sustained, in that they will let the vendors know they have to be behind the line.
Andrews also pointed to the need for order to be instituted at the level of the council, alleging that too many of the persons charged with overseeing are taking monetary bribes in exchange for allowing lawlessness.
Somewhere along the line, they take money from them to sell, right? But I'll tell you this, is that it is a dangerous thing. As long as you're collecting money, some persons, you've created a contract. And if you're going to do things, you can't just be collecting money a year, 2 years once and suddenly decide to uproot them.
Head of the Guyana Vendors Union, Ian Andrews, told this newscast that the reason for the breaches by the vendors stem from the lack of effective communication amongst the union and council.
We thought that the appropriate thing to do would have been to say, well, call the union, we plan to do this at such a time, we want you to let your people know. But when we are hearing that something is happening, we hear it at the time when it is happening. That's where the confusion comes about.
Meanwhile, despite the undergoing challenges, vendors are pleased that the mayor is taking into account their overall needs.
I am comfortable because at least you got to put yourself in line to meet with any situation. Before we ain't get to sell at all, at least I'm comfortable with this.
One vendor noted that though the demarcation system is in place, there is urgent need to fix the roadways to avoid stagnated waters accumulated by vending stalls. This is Tarik Braithwaite reporting for HGP Nightly News.